Hello everyone and welcome to DCS World A-10C Warthog. This is my crash course tutorial on how to fly the A-10 Warthog or A-10C Warthog in DCS World. I'm making this tutorial for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is because I learned how to fly the A-10 in the game, and then I forget when I go and play other simulators, and I come back to it. I'm like, how do I manage all this stuff again? And I'm also making it because some of you might, I think a lot of people don't want to mess around with like learning how to start the thing out. They just want to get out there and start blowing stuff up. So if you're the person who wants to just figure out how to blow stuff up, this is probably the tutorial for you. So I'm going to start.
2, contact target 12 o'clock, port 6.
2 supply trucks are ahead of you at the fork in the river, left of the town, 9 clicks ahead. The groups are marked with green smoke. Waypoint 2, labeled supply, is the target location.
Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is the controls. There's a couple of controls that you need to familiarize yourself with. First off, the one thing you definitely have to familiarize yourself with the HOTAS controls. That stands for hands on throttle and stick. Every one of the controls here, as you can see, emergency disconnect lever, Alt-E, well that's not super important, just hit Control-E 3 times to eject. But trigger, gun trigger, first stage, the boat switch is somewhat important. Counter, or CMS, that stands for counter management system, these are all important. F8, F7, F7 starts deploying your thing, F8 stops the deployment of your flares or chaff. F9 and 9 and 0. Did I say F8? I'm sorry, I didn't mean F8. 8 and 7 deploy. 7 starts deploying whatever program you have in the countermeasurement system. 8 stops the deployment. 9 and 10 switch between the different programs. Something important to know. Coolie hat switch. These are important. Or China hat. The most important one in here is V. V is, if you hold down V, it slews whatever you're looking at, or whatever you decide is your center point of interest, to all your sensors. It slews to that. I'll get to that. DMS, data management system, and home, delete, page down. These are all very important because when you have whatever sensor you have that's soy, use the DMS to manage, to basically run through the pages or whatever. Mic switch, not super important, although, well, these are, the mic switches are important for communications. You hit different mic switches to activate different radios. So for example, Alt and numpad minus, which would be I think I've set this to be, yes, it's this one. Not the mic switch down. That one's to talk to your wingman. The other ones, if you select them, won't work. M, super important, master mode control switch. Hitting M changes the type of attack. It's like attack modes. You have different attack modes. So like if you're using guided bombs or unguided bombs, you want to switch the M button. And if you hold down M, it takes you into air-to-air mode. So if if there's a plane around, you hold down M, and then you'll instantly switch over your AIM-9s to shoot missiles at it. Nose wheel steering button insert, also super important. It doesn't just change the nose wheel steering, or it doesn't just turn on and off nose wheel steering, it also turns on and off your laser. The HOTAS pinky switch, these are important for lights. The slew controls. Memorize the slew controls. That's period, comma, forward slash, and semicolon. And all of those slew respectively, like up, down, left, right. HOTAS speed brake, also important. Space, and, well, these, what is that? Yeah, space opens up your speed brakes, and Alt Control Space closes the speed brakes, so good to memorize. I've set these, as you can see, I've set some of these buttons to my Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. TMS, that stands for Target Management System. By default, these are going to only be set to left control, up, down, left, right. And you want, why I highly recommend, if you're using a joystick and you're not a crazy person who's trying to fly this with without a joystick, is to go in here and set right control, up, down, left, right for each one of these respectively. That way you can use one hand instead of two, so you don't have to take a hand off the joystick to use the TMS. And the TMS is very important for setting targets and stuff. Trim, obviously important for trimming the aircraft, and weapon release, obviously another important one. Have these set to the joystick button 2, and gun trigger set to joystick button 1. I don't even have a thing set for the keyboard for the joystick, so that's important. Another thing that's important is the AAP, which stands for Auxiliary Avionics Panel. You want to come down here and set the steer point flight plan and steer point mark. I have it set to S and D. And this is important. It's a little avionics thing in the lower right hand, or the right side of the cockpit, for changing what kind of data your HUD is using. And so if you're setting mark points, you want to switch between the mark, by default you're always in flight plan, and if you set mark points, you want to set it over to mark points so you can tell your HUD to use those mark points. That is all I really want to talk about with the controls, so we'll go ahead and hit it. Okay, so first thing is first, you want to hit M to go into guns, and I'm going to hit page down to switch the gun reticle, because I don't particularly care for that gun reticle, but you can use whatever gun reticle. Well, these gun reticles are stationary. You want to use the gun reticles that change with the ground, so you know where it's going to shoot. So our first targets are to shoot these guys. So all I'm going to do,
altitude, pull up,
fire some bullets on these guys, and that should take them out. Just let me pause here. To turn on and off the gun, this is the master arm, this is the gun arm, this is the laser arm. TGP on, that's, I think, for I don't know what that it's for. I think it's the computer that like manages your targets. You want to make sure that all that stuff is on. You want to make sure all these things down here are on. These are all various different computers for targeting and whatnot. So I'll unpause now. Oh, and also I'm going to pause again. And that thing I was talking about, the switch, the steer point right here. So this is the steer point where you see it says flight plan, or it says mission, flight plan, mark. I'm pretty sure mission is both flight plan and mark, so it's better to have that set to a button on the keyboard, so you don't have to turn your camera all the way over there to
nice job taking up those trucks. The next target is Insurgent Patrol, 2 trucks and infantry, at waypoint 3 labeled patrol. The target is marked with red smoke. Take it out.
So one thing you want to do, this is already set for your laser. You can change what the MFCD over here is saying by hitting the K key. But with the laser selector, you want to hit to air to ground mode, and you also want to go into this little part that says control here. That brings up these options, and over here where it says latch, you want to turn that on, and then turn off the options. So we got some stuff to shoot at. I'm just gonna use more guns here.
Altitude. Pull up. Pull up.
2. Contact target 11 o'clock. Point 2.
Pull up. Pull up.
Good job with that patrol. Let's now try
Okay.
dropping a bridge. Drop the bridge at waypoint 4, labeled bridge. There are a couple
So this
AAA
is-
units defending it.
So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm going to hit M again. Actually, I'm going to hit H, which will change my right MFCD until I bring up my weapons menu. And then I'm going to hit, I think it's, what is it? Yeah. After I hit M a couple times, M changes between the guns, CCIP, and CCRP modes. You want to be in CCIP or CCRP so that you can tell it that you want to use weapons of some type. I'm going to bring up a Maverick. I'm then going to hit H again until I get my laser, and then I'm going to hit K to switch over to my Maverick on this view. I am now going to hold down H, and that makes the MFCD over here my center, it's like sensor of interest, I do believe is what SOI stands for. And now I'm going to hold down C, and that's going to slew my laser to the waypoint that I have right here, Patrol 3. And then you can see, as I turn to that, I'm going to give a little trim up here. I can see this. So what I want to do right now is I want to hit Alt and right arrow, and that allows me to change the or turn on infrared on my camera, which makes it easier to see. And Alt right arrow, it's different, it does the same thing, and Alt down arrow goes back to normal. So I want to hit Alt right, so I have I think this black hot mode, and let's hold down C again. What is that? That doesn't. Oh, I see. Okay, so hit U once. Don't hold it down, and that makes it makes this thing your SOI. Now hit home key, and then I'll select the bridge because I didn't go over the waypoint, so it didn't do that. And now hold down C. Oh, I don't have to. It's already done that. Okay, no point to. So now hold down H to make the laser SOI again. So I'm going to go ahead and turn. What is that? It over there? Now I'm confused. I'm going to back off the speed a little bit. It says it's 180 degrees behind me. I'm going to bring up my map here by hitting H a few times. Where the heck am I? Okay, 60 degrees. I'm going to hit H again a couple times until I get my laser again. I'm going to hold down H to make it SOI. Hit V. That allows me to zoom in a bit here. And then I'm just going to turn until the waypoint is I'm aimed at it. So I guess I was heading way the wrong direction. Okay, now that I'm headed the right direction, I'm going to use the slew controls with the comma, semicolon, period, and / keys, and until I can see this little guy right here, that's the air defense. I'm going to hit Control up for TMS up to change it to point. I'm going to hit insert, and remember how we changed that latch mode so that the laser's on, and I'm going to hold Control up or TMS up, and that's going to make it the center point of interest. Now if I hit V, Or no, if I hold down V, yes, if I hold down V, you'll notice the Maverick will now slew itself to that. So I'm going to hold down K to make the Maverick soy. I'm going to hit V so that I can zoom in. I'm going to hit TMS up or Control up so that it locks on. And I'm going to fire the missile. I'm going to go ahead and hold down H to make this thing more soy, or to make the I hope that missile wasn't too far away. I think that missile has at least a range of 7 miles. So theoretically, if everything goes according to plan, this guy should blow up.
2, contact air defense target, 12 o'clock, 45.
There we go. Oops. I'm forgetting what's the robot and what's reality. Okay, so now at the bridge, I'm going to hold down C. That's going to change everything to the bridge, or set the bridge as the target. I don't really need these things up right now, so I'm going to go ahead. So that's how you fire a missile. A Maverick. There's 2 different Mavericks. The only difference between the different Mavericks is that one is white hot and one is black hot. So they're better for different situations. Way too high. Way, way too high. I'm gonna trim down here some. Set the aircraft to be... Oh, I'm going to hit insert because my laser is still on. There's no point to have the laser on. The only reason I turned the laser on is so I can get a more accurate point of reference when I hit control up or TMS up. It's left control up by default, but right I'm pretty sure I pointed out, you want to set that to right control up so that it's easier. Okay, so there's the bridge. I'm going to add speed here. Max speed. Well, max throttle. Not necessarily max speed. Bring the gun sight down to
Altitude,
bear,
altitude. Pull up, pull up.
and then fire some bullets. Doesn't quite look like that was enough. I'm going to hit U to make my...
Contact target, 11 o'clock, point 1.
Thank you. I'm going to hit U to make the HUD soy, and because it set the to the next waypoint, I still want the bridge as my primary waypoint, because I didn't get it that round. Still have 630 rounds of ammo. I think I need to get a better angle. So I'm going to climb here. If I turn my head around. Where is it? It's over there. Yeah, I want to come in at a higher angle. Higher angle of attack. That's the stall warning. The Hog is not a fast ship. It is a slow but durable fighter. Or I shouldn't say fighter, ground attack, close air support vehicle. It's kind of a bit similar to a P-47, but not as fast relative to all the jets nowadays. So we'll come in with a higher angle of attack this time. I'm going to cut my throttle here.
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
I'm surprised
Pull
that
up,
didn't
pull
blow up
up.
the bridge. I'm almost running out of ammo here. Although I'm not really going to use machine guns much after taking out this bridge. In fact, one of the reasons I'm using machine guns to take out this bridge is because I want to use my better weapons for the targets I'll be dealing with in the future. Okay, let's hope that this angle does the trick.
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
With the bridge destroyed, let's head southeast waypoint 5, labeled tanks. You'll
I
find a
have
group of
100
3
rounds
tanks
left.
at a road intersection. They are marked with white smoke. Careful, they have both AAA and IR-SAM cover.
Okay, because the HUD didn't change to tanks automatically, I went ahead and hit home key with my HUD selected to change to that target. So now we're going to be dealing with some more nasty AA coverage. So we're going to go ahead and slip back over to our laser. I'm going to go ahead and hit C. Looks like it's already done that. Slewed. Zoom out. And now I want to look for... I'm going to slew this until I can find... Oh, it looks like I accidentally hit the master mode button. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Until I can find that guy. I'm going to hit Control up, TMS up, and I'm going to hit the insert button to turn on the laser. Insert again. And I'm going to, this time I'm going to use mark points. So I'm going to hit Control right or TMS right.
Target, 1 o'clock, point 6.
And with TMS right selected,
Contact air defense target, 1 o'clock, point 6.
nobody cares. With TMS right selected, I've now created a mark point. So what we need to do is we need to hit D, which changes to, or well, what I set to D. As I said, it's, you know, this switch, S and D switch that switch for me directly now, and that's the switch I'm switching. So I'm switching it to D to go for mark point, for my mark points. I'm going to hit U to make my mark points, I'm going to make my HUD soy. And now with that selected, I'm going to hit K to switch these over to my Maverick. And with my mark point selected, let's see, how far are we from this target of mine? 3.1, 3.2. Let me go ahead and, cause I don't, yeah. Okay, I'm turning towards him. Okay. So I'm going to hold down K to make my Maverick soy. I'm going to turn towards the target. I'm going to hold down V to slew it to... Okay, I have to drop some flares and turn around again. I've gotten too close.
Mud spike, 9 o'clock.
Yes, thank you. Well aware. You can actually sort of see the ranges on this thing. The inner circle is the danger zone, the outer circle is when you're in firing range. So I'm going to go ahead and go out here just a bit, trim down a little. I seem to be constantly going to... Oh, that's because I had my foot on the pedals. Okay, we're a good distance away from it now. I'm gonna slow down, or bring back my throttle a little bit. I will go ahead and turn. I'm gonna go ahead and turn back on my laser. It's just easier when my laser's on, because then I kind of know if it's going for the right thing or not. Now with that selected, okay, now since my Maverick is still soy, gonna hold down V. I'm gonna hit C actually. Something seems to have messed up here. Let me select this as a as my whatever you call it. I'm gonna hit V. I'll hold down K to get the laser. I guess I can just create another mark point. Oh, hey, look, it's finally got it locked in for the Maverick. Okay, so I'll hit K. I'm gonna hit V. Oh, whoops. He's kind of a good distance away. I'm gonna hold down V. That'll mark it to the thing. See, I'm turning too far to the right, or to the left. 3 point whatever. So I'll hit Control TMS up with my Maverick selected and fire that missile. And now with this guy selected, no. H, hold H, hit V, zoom in.
2, mud spike, 12 o'clock.
I'm gonna go ahead and deploy chaff, and he's gone.
2, mud spike, 12 o'clock.
So with my other laser, with the laser still active, or
2, mud spike, 8 o'clock.
I'm gonna go ahead and deploy some more chaff. I'll stop the chaff. That's with the 7 to deploy chaff, 8 to get. It doesn't quite work like that. The 9 and 10, 0 keys to control which program. So if you're, and since I'm in program A, it deploys chaff. If I was in program B, it deploys a lot of chaff. C deploys flares. It's a bit of it's actually kind of annoying. I would much prefer it if it was just I had 2 buttons and one deployed chaff and the other deployed flares, as it is with the other things. But in this game, it has to be overly complicated because it's a simulation of a war machine, and the military likes to make things overly complicated. Okay, so I need to hit H to see which weapon I have selected. I'm going to hit page down to change over to the other Maverick. I'm going to hit H again a few times until I have my my laser selected. I'm going to make it soy by holding down H, and then I'm going to slew these controls over until I can find the other air defense target. So that was the guy I already shot, right? No, that's the other air defense target. Okay, so I'm going to hit TMS up for point. I'm going to hit laser, and I'm going to hit control right. And then I'm going to hit U to make my HUD soy. I'm going to hit home to select as whatever you call it. I'm going to hold down V to slew all the targets to that point. Oops, Maverick. I'm going to make my Mavericks soy. Zoom in with V. V. C. C. Hit C. Okay, just tap C. No, that's just going to make it go back to there. Okay. So now it's selected with the Maverick. I'm going to hit control up, TMS up, fire. Oh shit, that's a tank. Uh-oh. That wasn't the target I wanted to take out.
Mud spike, 2 o'clock.
I guess I'm going to tell my wingman to take out the tank. So to bring up the wingman menu, you hit Alt minus on the D-pad, and you see how it says UHF up here. That's the one you want. So I hit wingman F1, engage, and then F4 for air defense.
Engage air defenses. 2, roger. 2, engaging air defenses.
So now he'll just go ahead and blow up that air defense that I failed to. I accidentally used a Maverick on a target I didn't want to use a Maverick on. Okay, so speaking of which, where is that guy? V.
Running in. 2, missile away.
Okay, see that missile? That's his missile. It's not going for me. Is that the air defense? No, that's the other tank, so it must be the one over there.
2, mud spike, 12 o'clock.
Yeah, there he is. So that was the target I wanted to
mud
kill.
spike, 12 o'clock.
But I just told my wingman to take him out.
2, target destroyed.
Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to use mark points for this guy. I'm just going to hit control up, TMS up. I'm going to hit. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to hit this. U. Switch to that thing. Hit U. Go to my laser guided munitions. And at this point, I can. Oh, too late. I have to swing back around. We'll go ahead and switch this over to my laser. Obviously my laser wasn't on track, so it's kind of a good thing that I... Let's go ahead and make that soy by holding down K. And let's hit control up. Hold control up, or TMS up, to make that the center point of interest. And this is not the mark point way, that's the... This is just selecting that as the target, so that all the sensors know that that's the target you want to blow up. So we'll go spin around, come back. We're too high too to drop bombs. I just realized. So they say the maximum airspeed for this plane is like, I don't remember, 360 knots or something. But don't even worry about it, it's a lie. The wings don't rip off until like 500 or 600 knots. As you would expect for a combat aircraft. Okay, so now we're going to spin back around. Until we get... Okay. Yeah, a little bit trim. 4,000 feet is a little bit low, but hey, that's fine. Let's make sure that's point by hitting Control up. Make sure that the point we're tracking is that. So now all we want to do is fly so that line is matched up with our bomb sight. I suppose get a little trim up. So now what we'll see is as soon as we get close enough to this target, my laser's on, you can see with that little blinking L. See how this is timing down? So these little two arrows, that's when you want to drop the bomb. But you don't want to press the bomb release button, you want to hold the bomb release button. So I'm going to hold it. Which didn't work. For some reason it decided not to drop the bomb. So we'll have to spin around again. But the point is that you want to hold your bomb weapons release button as you fly over the target, and you do not, I repeat, do not want to tap the weapons release button. If you tap the weapons release button, there's a very likely chance that you will screw up the computer inside your bomb, which will then make your bomb forget that it's a bomb, and then you have to go online and follow a very complicated tutorial where you basically reset the whole bomb using a bunch of submenus in the left MFCD to reset it, and it's a pain in the butt, so just don't do it. Always hold down the bomb release button and don't tap it, at least when you're doing this kind of laser guided munitions drop. So we're going to go ahead and turn around. Okay, the target is lased and it's on point tracking, so that's all good. So now we will get the line on the thing and we'll just fly that course, or fly this course, keeping the reticle inside the on the line, just ensuring that that's point. Good, good, good. So now it's doing the countdown. So hold, and there the bomb just went. Uh-oh. Oh, no, that's fine. Well, that was weird. I think I hit him, but it just looks like the bomb sort of went a different direction, maybe. Yeah, it looks like he was taken out. Yeah, he's wrecked. That bomb hit him. Okay, and so that's how you do a laser-guided bomb drop. We're gonna drop another laser on the last guy, which I'm pretty sure is that guy, right? He's still alive. Sure looks like it. Okay, so we'll go in, turn towards him until this goes from inertial point, or as you see down here on the MSCD it says inertial point. As soon as you're pointing actually in his direction, it'll change to point. Hold control up to make that the center point of interest. I should actually be dropping the bomb right about now. Okay, I dropped the bomb. Let's hope that hits. It is laser guided, but I was a little bit wonky. And it was a little bit off. That's because I did that a little bit. I should have gone out further. Which is okay, because I'll go ahead and hit U to make my HUD soy, and hit page down, or page, or HUD delete key to select the GBU-12s, which are unguided bombs. I'm going to hit the pinky key and turn off the laser. And I'll just show you how to do a unguided attack. So we're coming in you want to come in kind of high, then cut your throttle. Get that line to line up with him.
Pull up.
And tap
Altitude, altitude.
And that's how you do a unguided. Come on. You telling me that guy's still alive? There's no freaking way. Oh, I forgot to add full throttle. How is that guy still alive? He's just like the luckiest guy alive. Wonder if I'll have to shoot him with my last 100 rounds. Let me try my last bomb. Or maybe I should just do some rockets, huh? I'm not going to use the rockets all that much. Let's see. U, delete. Those are my rockets. I don't understand how this guy's still alive. He just had 2 bombs dropped like right next to him. Okay, cut the throttle.
Pull up, pull up.
Go in. And just let him have it.
Altitude, altitude. Pull up, pull up.
Is he, like, seriously? This is the invincible tank. How many rockets do I still have left? Looks like I just used all my rockets. Okay, well, let me try to get him with the machine gun. If I can't, I'm like almost at the point here where I'm just going to tell my wingman to drop a bomb on him. I wish that laser guided bomb. You see, I shouldn't have been so quick with the laser guided bomb, but I was. We'll go ahead and hit the M key so I can go straight to guns. This guy is shooting back. He's got
Pull up,
50.
pull up. Altitude, altitude.
Okay, come on. That's all my ammo there, too. You gotta be dead. Like, you gotta. There we go.
Looks like you got all the tanks. The final target is an armor column moving along a road from north to south in the area around waypoint 6, labeled column. You can contact JTAC Playboy on VHF AM 131 for tasking.
Took some hits. Okay, so for this last thing, we want to go and hit the, what is it, D key? S key, D key. Yes, D key. And we want to change the waypoint to the column. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my thingy with my laser pod and my Maverick, respectively. I'm going to hold down C to slew it to the new point. I'm going to hold down H to make my laser pod soy. And go ahead and turn towards that. Zoom out. A little bit. Zoom. Now I want to move up the road. Somewhere. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and the last guy in that column is indeed the target that I want, so I'm going to hit TMS up to lock him up, and then I'm going to hold down V so that I can make my Maverick slew to him. I'm going to make my Maverick soy by holding down K, hit V to zoom in, and then I'm going to hit TMS up once to lock on, fire the missile. Oh right, I have to have the missile selected. Oh right, M. Hit M. Now the Maverick is selected. And now I'll fire the missile. And we'll go ahead and drop some flares because I got a little too close into him. And there we go. Taken out. So yeah, I was in the guns mode with the M, which is why it was acting a little bit funky. So now I'm out of Mavericks. At this point, I'm just going to tell my wingman by hitting Alt minus on the numpad. I'm going to hit F1 to tell him to do stuff, or for wingman 1, engage, ground targets.
2, engage targets of opportunity.
And he should have enough Mavericks left to just take out those 3
2,
tanks.
engaging target.
So I can just... So you see, these tanks have now dispersed. I mean, I still have that 1 bomb, but I don't want to get close to these tanks.
2, running in.
Because they will
2, missile away.
make my day very unhappy.
2, missile away. 2, rounds on target. 2, missile away.
Impressive work on the column. You can now RTB or continue.
2, rounds on target.
Okay, so that pretty much concludes this tutorial. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. This has been Johnny Thunder, signing off.